Hi everyone, my name is Alyssa. I read, and today I'm starting a reading vlog where I read books with the word summer in them. I've been wanting to do some like seasonal reading vlogs. I thought it would be really fun, and I was realizing I have a lot of like summer books I need to read, and I usually save them for the summer because it feels odd to read them like any other time of year. And I perused my TBR to see if I had any books that had the word summer in the title, and I had a few, and I picked 3 books for this reading vlog. And I'm also going to be going on vacation during this reading vlog, so you're going to see a lot of clips of my trip to Drumheller. You know, I didn't think this was going to overlap so perfectly, but it did, and I hope you enjoy this vlog. So I have 3 titles here. The first one is Blackberry Summer by Reagan, but I'm excited about this because it is a small town romance. I've been watching a lot of Stranger Things, and I'm obsessed with Hopper and Joyce, and the fact that this is a single mother and a cop romance, I'm totally digging it. And there's a bit of suspense, but Claire, she's our main protagonist, our heroine, and she gets in an accident, so she's kind of forced to like slow down a bit, and I think she runs a bead shop, which is really interesting. And I've never read like a cop romance where the hero is a cop, so I thought it would be a lot of fun. This is the first in a series, so if I like this, I have other books to get to. And that's all I kind of know, but I'm really excited to get to it. So I have Summer Supernovas by Darcy Woods. This is a romance kind of surrounding astrology. Our heroine's mother was a famous astrologer, I guess, so she kind of bases her romance surrounding like the signs aligning, and she falls for someone where like it doesn't quite align. I guess they shouldn't be meant for each other because of their astrology signs or whatever. She can't help but fall for him. I think maybe her mom has also like passed, and so maybe this is her way of connecting with her mother, is by being really immersed in astrology. I'm not too sure. I'll have to find out for sure. I'm excited to get to this. I'm really like wanting to read more YA, so I'm excited for this. And then I have Open Road Summer by Emery Lord. I'm so excited to get to this because I read The Start of Me and You and like loved it. It's like one of my favorite YA romances of all time, and so I'm excited to try more of her books. It's a road trip romance, and we're following Reagan, and her best friend is a country artist. She kind of like gives me Taylor Swift vibes before Taylor Swift turned to pop. She's a country artist, and she's young. She's like 17, and she's on tour, and so her friend, who is our heroine, kind of goes along with her on tour to kind of help her and be like supportive and everything. And she falls for Matt Finch. He's like the opening act for Dee, who's the superstar, and he was part of like a boy band, a family goody two-shoes boy band, and so this is like his debut album, and it is their romance. And so let's get to the vlog. Tomorrow I'm leaving to go camping. I'm still currently in the middle of another vlog. I may not quite get to my first book right away, but if I don't get an opportunity to share with you, my plan is to start Open Road Summer by Emery Lord. And I do like rock star or musical, not musical, but like music inspired or celebrity inspired romances. I just think they're so fun. So this is definitely going to be my first pick. And I don't know how much reading I'm going to do. I'm going to be gone for 3 nights. And when we're relaxing, I'm not going to have much to do, so I'll be reading a lot. I may bring one of these as well. I just don't know which one yet.
Going down into the canyons. Yeah.
It'll be twisty turny. in the
behind
sky.
the buildings.
Kind of. You see it?
Nazi rat!
Yes!
Giant.
That's so cool. I love that.
Pretty good.
He's gonna attack us. Woo! Look at that.
Water park!
He's being hunted? My goodness. So, confession. This is the only book I read on vacation, but I loved it. Reagan, who is Dee's best friend, who is the person we're reading from, she's very different from Dee. They've been best friends since they were in elementary school. Reagan is going through it. She kind of has a troubled past. She's made really poor decisions. It's just her and her dad. Her dad was an alcoholic. Her mom ran away when she was young. And so she has a lot of things that she's dealing with. She's dealt with a lot of bullying growing up, and it was just basically her and Dee, and they're best friends. They're there for each other. But Reagan is really hardened. While Dee was away kind of building her career, she has been making poor decisions. She is a smoker, she drinks, she parties, she has sex, like she does all these things. And I just find her character so interesting because I've never read a character like that before in a YA novel. And I think it's really important to have such characters that are realistic to other readers. I didn't live my life like that in high school, but I know there's lots of teens, a lot of girls and boys who make such choices, and I like how there is some representation there. This journey for Reagan is about kind of redeeming herself or trying to make better choices. So at the beginning of the novel, something traumatic has happened to her to kind of shake her up and decide to make some better choices. So she decides to stop drinking. She's trying to quit smoking. By going on tour with her friend, it's kind of helping her to start afresh. She broke her arm. We gradually learn about what happened to her that kind of made her change her perspective on how to live. And I like Matt Finch as a romantic lead. He is very different for Reagan, and he kind of like shakes her up a bit and challenges her to be better, but she is quite hardened. It's hard for her to open up, and she doesn't trust people. She assumes that they're just gonna hurt her, and this was like a real struggle for her to kind of open up to Matt and to accept him. I love the third act breakup because it was really realistic. I think one thing I really love about this author is that her characters are so well developed. They're like real people, and they're very complex. I don't think I really appreciated that before when I read her other stuff. I really got to know Reagan and the journey that she had to go on, and even Dee, like she's quite a complex character and she's very different from Reagan, and she has stuff she's going through as well. Her long-term boyfriend just broke up with her like a year ago, and so you get to learn about that and her journey as well. And so I just really liked this. Matt as well is a really developed character as well. He has his own issues that he's going through. This was also really funny and just adorable. The romance was so sweet. I really liked Matt. The banter between Matt and Reagan was really top notch. And so I'm excited to read this sometime. At first, I wasn't sure how I felt. Now, I didn't dislike it. I liked everything that I read. And some of like the cliche-ness of like problems that celebrities have, the situation with the naked photos and things like that, like I feel like I've seen that before, but like that's maybe my biggest criticism. But I grew to really care for these characters and I fell in love with them. And so I am ending it with a 5-star. Since I'm like obsessed with YA, I probably will pick up this one next. I am nervous about this, but since I am in a YA mood, I think I'll probably try this one. But I'm nervous because I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it. That's the thing. Like it's such a weird concept, and I'm not sure if I'm like excited for this concept. Where this one, like, I was really excited to read, like, essentially a rock star romance. So, we'll see. But since I'm in a YA mood, I'll probably pick this one up next. Hi, everyone! I thought I would update you because I did start Summer of Supernovas. I'm not very far along. I read 50 pages, actually, more than I thought. And so in this one, it's a YA contemporary, and we're following Will. So her mother has passed. I was wondering if that was part of the story. But her mother has passed, and it's just her and her grandmother. And it sounds like her mother probably died a while back, but she has a connection with her mother through astrology. Her mother like set out a chart for her when she was really young and kind of told her like follow the signs, follow the alignment and things like that. I don't understand astrology all that much, but her mother kind of figured out her signs based on her birthday and things like that. And so she's been kind of like following it to a T. She's obsessed with astrology, and right now it's like the perfect alignment for her to find her like true love. There's like a month window for her to find someone. You know, all the planets are aligned perfectly, and this is the time for her to find someone. Otherwise, she has to wait like 10 years or something for this like perfect alignment. So she's on a quest to find someone. So her name is Will. She meets Grant through like a very like comical situation. She was on like the water tower of their small town. She was just like up there thinking, working through her thoughts. And these two guys at the bottom like shout up to her, and she doesn't like know what they're saying. And one is like races up to like get to her, and she's like, what's going on? They think she is about to jump, but she's not. She's just there hanging out. And so they call the cops. But in the meantime, Grant is like afraid of heights. He's the one who like rushed up there. And so on their way down, they have an accident. They both fall. Luckily, like the fire department was there and everything. As a sorry, he invites her to this club. She goes with her friend. And that's where I'm at, but she's on this journey to find her true love. I think she thinks she needs to find like a Sagittarius, and she has found someone. His name is Seth. They kind of hit it off at the bar while she's there, and he's Sagittarius, but then there's Grant, and I think based on synopsis, Grant is probably not aligned appropriately. I think if anything, he's a Pisces. I think that's like the one person she can't be with or something silly like that. So it's kind of fun. She's kind of quirky. She like dresses in vintage clothes, which I personally like. I think I like that touch with her character, and she's kind of sarcastic and funny, and so far I'm enjoying it. No complaints. So I had to come in here because I started Blackberry Summer, and I'm like almost halfway through, and like I fell in love with it so much. This is a single mother cop romance, but we're set at Hope Crossing, which is a small town, and that's what this series is set. And I took a look because I was like loving this. I wanted to see what the synopsis was for book 2, and it seems like it's like different romances for different couples in the series, so you probably could just read them out of order. And it's like a Rocky Mountain small town, and it's like a tourist town, so people come to ski during the season. And we're following Claire. Her husband left her to marry or be with like a younger woman, and they still live in town because of the kids. Her kids are like 8 and 12, I would say. So there's this like awkward dynamic. She's like really strong. She has her own business. She's a single mom. She's kind of like always taking care of people because her father had an affair, got killed because it was a very scandalous affair. And so when her mom was left behind and single, her mother fell apart. So she's from a young age has always like taken care of people, and that's been like her thing. And so she's just super strong woman. I really like reading from her perspective. And then we have Riley, who is the new chief in town. They have a history. He was her best friend's younger brother. He's like only 3 years younger than her, but she's never viewed him like in a romantic way because he was younger and annoying and things like that. And I guess he has a bit of a reputation for being like the rebel as a teen because his family has had kind of tragic situations in his life as well. Eventually, Claire not only gets robbed from her bead store, which I thought was really interesting. Not only did her store get robbed, and there's been kind of like a mystery where there's lots of robberies that have been happening in town, but she gets in a car accident with her kids, and she's left like with broken like legs and an arm, and like she's struggling with her mobility. It's just really interesting. I just really like getting to know these characters and their backstories and the issues that they're struggling with. And obviously it's going to be a romance, but like I really like it because the author really like digs deep into these characters, and you get to really know them very well and see the dynamics they have with the people in their lives. So she obviously has this dynamic with her ex-husband and his wife. They're like almost too involved in her life. And then she has her overbearing mother, and then she has her kids, and then there's the other people in town, and you get that for Riley as well. And I don't know, I'm just like really enjoying getting to know these characters and obviously seeing them fall in love. Riley has like always, I don't want to say the word love because he doesn't say it that way, but he has always had an attraction to Claire. And I really like that, where he's like always been smitten by her, but was a little bit too young. And now that they're older and like age doesn't really matter anymore, I kind of really like that. And I just like feel for Claire, like as a single mom, like oh my gosh, I can't imagine. She's just such a strong character. And I'm looking forward to reading more in this series. So I'm going to keep reading. I might finish this today because I'm just like obsessed. And yeah, I love it. It's early. It's the morning, and I would like normally wait to talk after getting ready, but I have so much to update with this stuff, and I'm gonna finish 2 books if I don't talk to you now. So I finished Blackberry Summer a while ago now, a few days ago, and I really liked it a lot. I kind of loved it. I did get frustrated near the end, but I just loved Claire and Riley's romance so much. I just liked how he was just smitten from the beginning, and you could just really see how well they would be together as a couple, and him like coming into the family wouldn't be awkward. It just works really well. He really connected with her son, and they just had a really good family dynamic. Even though he's new, like the kids like really loved him, and he helped Claire around the house. And I know it sounds very like, is domestic the right word? I don't know, but like I swoon over stuff like that because I'm married and I can picture what it would be like being a single home mother. Like it would be so hard, and you just feel for Claire so much. So Riley coming into her life just like is so good for her and just lovely for her. Like she deserves it. So I just like fell in love with the romance so much. I was pretty much swooning. I got frustrated. Riley's one of those characters who thinks they're not good enough for Claire and shouldn't be with her, and that narrative just got dragged out so much, and I just get annoyed by the end of it usually. So I have to give this 4.5. If that wasn't there, if it wasn't dragged out too much, I would give it 5. But the ending was still really romantic too. It's a clean romance, so there's like no smut in it at all. So if you really want a clean romance, this is definitely a recommendation. And so I continued Summer Supernovas, and I'm like obsessed with this one. That's why I have to talk to you now, otherwise I won't. I'm halfway through, but I can like see myself finishing this today if I get the chance. I don't know if I will, but she has like a funny encounter with Grant. In the beginning, we see her on a water tower, and they have kind of an accident on the water tower, and everyone's fine, but he feels guilty, so he offers her entrance to this bar, and the bar is like his uncle's bar. Yeah, so she goes, and she brings her best friend, and they decide this is going to be the time for like her to find someone. So she goes around and asks, "Are you Sagittarius?" basically, and then she meets Seth, and they have a really cute encounter. Like they just kind of hit it off right away. But Grant is also there, and there's just like undeniable chemistry between her and Grant. It's just like palpable, and like she really feels it. But she learns that Seth is a Sagittarius and Grant is the Pisces, and not only that, but they're brothers. And so she starts dating Seth, but she can't stop thinking about Grant, and it's just like amazing. I just love the ink so much. It's just so much fun and juicy, and it's interesting having the astrology aspect because it feels forbidden for her to be with Grant, even though like it's not a big deal, you know. But the fact that she really feels strongly about this makes it feel forbidden, and so I'm loving it so much. It kind of reads older. Like she's 17 and this is still YA, and Seth is 17 and Grant is 19 and her best friend's 19, so it almost reads like new adult. There's nothing like, I don't think there's gonna be any like smut in here at all, so I think this is gonna be a clean because it's YA, but it does read older and her feelings like for them are older. So but I'm kind of obsessed with it. Like obviously we know who she's gonna end up with, but you're like along for the ride. It's fun. So far this, as of right now, this is a 5-star. Like this just kind of crept up on me. Like I didn't feel like reading yesterday and I kind of pushed my way through, but I was glad I did because I was like, oh my goodness, this is so good. So I'm gonna finish this hopefully today. So I forgot to talk about this for whatever reason. I forgot to mention that I did finish this and I loved it and I gave it 5 stars. I pretty much don't have anything else to say except I do highly recommend it. It was great. Love triangle, YA. If you want that, you'll probably like this a lot. So I do recommend it. So I need to close out this vlog. So just to quickly wrap up, I read Open Road Summer by Emery Lord. I gave that 5 stars. And then I read Blackberry Summer, which I gave 4.5 stars. And then I finished off with Summer of Supernova, which I gave 5 stars. So an amazing reading vlog. I had some great successes. So I just want to thank you so much for watching. If you got this far, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you have not done so. If you've read any of these books before, or if you have any summer reads that you're currently reading and want to recommend, please comment down below. I'd love to have a conversation with you in the comments. And you know what? I want you to keep reading. Bye.